What's up, guys? So we're continuing this journey together of me answering these questions. Most of these questions, there's really not too many things that I didn't experience in business after 14 years and just always having this growth mentality of push, 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 let's go, let's go, let's go. Like I was a madman. So because of that, I got a lot of experience crunched into a short amount of time, which 14 years is not that short amount of time. But I've learned a lot along the way. So today we're talking about operations and efficiency. So how many calls should each tech run per day? That's a great question because I know most of us, here's the thing. If you find yourself that you're short of money, you're you're scrambling to run any call that comes in because you need money. And what happens is when you're scrambling to run calls, when you get a little bit busier and you continue that process of just scrambling and just doing as many calls as you can, you're not maximizing each call. So I cannot stress the importance of maximizing each call. And the answer to this question might help you understand this a little bit deeper. So when it comes to how many calls do we run per day, we used to run as many as it took. I mean, we had times where we had 3 technicians in the field at this particular stage of our business, and we're running 33, 35 calls in one day, like on a really busy day when that summer first hits. And we did that for 2 or 3 days in a row, and everybody's burning out early, right? We got a whole summer ahead of us, and we can't be burning out in week 1. So the other thing that happens is we just don't maximize those calls. You know what? When the call volume increases, what happens is you start your reviews that come in tend to decrease. The amount of maintenance agreements that you sell decreases, and it's just a case of get it done. Get it off the list, right? Just check the box. Yeah, we got that call done. And as long as you stay in that mentality, I could tell you it's disaster is heading for your business. It takes more than that. You got to create that relationship with the customer. You got to collect all this different types of information and present options, and that takes time. And when the schedule's loaded or overloaded, we don't have time. So one of the first things that you can do to solve that is to put the correct amount of calls in order to keep the spotlight on the customer while you're with the customer. You paid money, you paid your time, your energy, your effort to get this call to come in the first place, whether it came through a marketing avenue or a referral, word of mouth. You earned that call. So don't waste it. Don't waste that call by just running through it. It's like if you go to a doctor's office and you have to wait, some of these doctors are incredibly inefficient. And they overbook themselves. And so they have, saying 75 clients in a day, which is way too many. And every client that comes in, once they get behind, which is easy to do because one client may take a little bit longer or one patient takes a little bit longer, now they're behind. Now everybody else is behind. So now if your appointment's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and they're already running behind, you're waiting an hour, hour and a half. And then when you get to see the doctor finally, what do? They just speed through it. You get no attention. You get no feeling of being any importance. And it kind of rubs you the wrong way. After you've been waiting for an hour and a half to see this person, and now they see you and they just rush you right through and get on to their next person. That's what your customers feel like. So the answer to this, I know I'm kind of long-winded on it, but the answer to this is not as many as you can each day, which was my philosophy for the first several years of business. It is ideally 4 calls. 4 calls. Leaving 2-hour increments plus an hour for lunch, so it'd be 8 to 10, 10 to 12, and then 12 to 1 would be lunch, and then 1 to 3, and 3 to 5. That would be ideal. Now, some of those calls aren't going to take a full 2 hours, so you might get ahead of schedule on some days. If it's convenient for the customer, that's great. Other days, you might be running behind, even for the 4th call. You still may be working some overtime, but you're not working till 9 or 10 o'clock at night, every night during the busy season. So keep it to 4, 5 max. If you're going more than 5, if you're giving any attention to the customers that you get to, even at 5, if you're doing a great job, you're going to be working late. You're going to be pushing your people to work late. But 4 ideally, and that's my answer. I could talk on and on about this because there's so many nuances to discuss when it comes to how many calls we should be taking each day. Second question, how do I reduce callbacks and warranty issues? Well, you got to have a process. You got to CYA, cover your ass, right? No, only way you're going to cover your ass is to do a thorough diagnostic on every job, make a thorough list on what you found for the customer, offer them to make some of these repairs and stuff that you did find, and let them choose the amount of service that they want to purchase from you. Once you do that and you're thorough, then most of your calls when you go back aren't going to be categorized as callbacks. Even if you go back, it's like, hey, well, I've got this on my list. That was part of the package that you chose not to go with. So now it's a billable call. One of the things that kills and just bleeds money from your business is callbacks. And this is the way to help prevent these callbacks from happening, is to be thorough when you're first initially out there, and to offer options and to make sure that this is all documented and gone over with the customer. And that way, if they choose not to fix something that you recommended, you just CYA'd yourself, right? So, and warranty issues. So warranty, I mean, if it's just a failing part, there's not a whole lot we can do about that. I mean, we have to deal with it. So that's going to be part of, as long as you're in business, you're going to have some warranty issues. We went through all kinds of warranty issues over the years, from leaky coils to compressors seizing up to bad hot surface igniters, like a whole batch of them. Like, there's all kinds of things that are going to happen. So you're never going to get completely away from warranty issues, but you'll have a lot less of them that you are warrantying because you were so thorough. You won't have to warranty so much. So when somebody calls back, you're not feeling guilty about charging them anything because they just paid you $400 or $800, right? You're not going to feel guilty about charging them an additional $400 or $500 because you covered it and they chose not to go with that the first time. Okay, so the next one is, should I stock my trucks differently to save time? Your installation trucks are probably going to be slightly different stocked than just your service trucks. That's how ours were, because they use more of different products since they're doing install versus all these parts that we have to carry on our trucks for service. When you are a smaller company and you're more flexible, to where you've got people who might be doing an install today and tomorrow they're running a maintenance or running a no heat call or no cool call. In that case, then everybody's truck would be basically stocked the same. But if they're doing installation, then I would have a few extra things on their truck that I might not have on just a pure service truck. So, but the short, quick answer is yes, because if you want to create a system, and it's not hard to do, it doesn't have to be perfect, but create a system on how you want all of your vans to be. That way, if one van goes down and the technician has to jump in a substitute van, it's pretty much stocked the same way. So like all their igniters are on this shelf, all their run caps are on this shelf. They all should have the same amount of filters. So you have like a truck inventory list. And very regularly, that has to be restocked to make sure that the inventory is all there. That way we don't have a bunch of times where we don't have what we need when we're on a call. But yes, stock them the same as much as you can. That way, if somebody has to jump in a van that is not theirs, they have a good idea of where everything's at. So it just keeps that efficiency higher, and they feel more comfortable in that van, even though it's a loaner, until they get theirs back. Next thing is, how do I measure if my team is working efficiently? This is going to be a little bit more difficult if you don't have Service Titan or one of the CRMs that track efficiency. But at the bare minimum, even if you have House Call Pro, as long as they are hitting on the way and they are hitting, they're completing the call when they're finished, as long as that is happening, it's going to timestamp those actions. And so the only way that you're going to know if they're truly efficient and that your prices are right, because let's say I've got some weird, let's say just a weird part. Let's say a particular control board, okay? And I've got it listed in my flat rate book. This is the amount that it costs to replace this board. But every time a technician goes to replace one of those boards, it takes longer than the time that I allotted or attached to that task in my price book. If that happens, then you've got to make some adjustments and add that time on. But on the other hand, if you got 3 technicians that all do it within the time allotted, but you've got one person who never seems to be able to do it within the time allotted to the time that's attached to that task in your flat rate book, then that's an efficiency problem. Like they need to have a sense of urgency when they're on the call. So that's going to be done through your mentorship, through your leadership, through coaching, through training to help them pick up the pace and get things done at a more reasonable pace, so that they can increase their efficiency, which is all going to help follow. It's all going to fall to the bottom line as far as like the money that you saved in hourly wages, the money that you actually made, because you're going to make more money. Of course, I mean if you bid this group of parts that we're going to replace on this system, and there's 2 hours allotted, but you get done in an hour, you made some extra money, right? So, yeah. You have to track, like what gets measured gets managed. If you're not reviewing your service call tickets, whether it's you or you have a whole fleet of people, like this has to happen. You have to review your service call tickets. You have to know what's happening out there. You have to look at each individual ticket and do this on a regular basis. It doesn't take much of your time. I mean, you could scan a ticket in 30 seconds and have a good idea of what happened on that call. But you have to take the time to do that, to make sure that, because here's what's going to happen too, is you're going to have technicians who find ways to charge less for the same amount of work. They just find ways. However, it's like maybe you have a diagnostic fee and it's in tiers, like level 1, level 2, level 3 diagnostic fee. And even though it took them 2 hours to just figure out what's going on here, they're only charging a level 1 diagnostic fee, which only has 15 minutes attached to it. So that's just one example. So you have to watch this, you have to measure it, and you have to manage it. And you'll also have to make adjustments in your price book as you go along. It's like a living document. It's organic. It's going to grow. It's going to shift and change and evolve over time. And the more tweaks that you do on it, the more right it's going to be most of the time. And that's the whole goal. Just like running a perfect service call or running a perfect estimate or installing a system as perfectly as you can, right? That's the goal, is to constantly get better and better and better. Next one is let's see. What software or CRM should I be using? Well, it depends on where you're at. You know, if you're a smaller team and you're doing like less than $1 million, I would just stick with House Call Pro. Even if you're doing $1 million or $2 million, if you're not very profitable, I would still stick with House Call Pro. The software is not going to change how profitable you are. Just get that out of your mind. There is no thing that you're going to go buy that's going to fix your problem. The problem will be, your processes and your management. You have to build efficient processes that are thorough, that take care of the job, that get the result, the particular end result that you're searching for on every call. And then you have to make sure that the price is right. And then you have to manage that to make sure that that's what's happening on each call so that you can maximize your profitability. And if you do that, then the reporting side of Service Titan is superior, in my opinion, to House Call Pro. So then you might want to go to, like when you're ready to step out of the truck, maybe for good, and just start managing your company. Because here's the thing with some of these softwares that do a lot more, is it also takes a lot more input. So somebody has to own that program. If you don't have somebody on your team who has the time, the skill set, the willingness, the ability, and the desire to help the business grow, if you have that person, great. maybe they can be the one that owns it, and they can train you on how to use it and train you on all the different nuances and help set it up and all the things that go into it. But so many times, and I did this too, I switched to ServiceTitan, and I wasn't ready. I didn't have the time at the time when I switched to ServiceTitan. So I wound up going to House Call Pro for a couple of years. Then I went back to ServiceTitan. It was a completely different experience. So in my humble opinion, be sure that you have time to own that program before you go purchasing it and trying to install it in your company. If you don't have time, don't mess with it right now. Focus on profitability and processes and managing those processes on a daily basis. So hopefully this was helpful. Operations and efficiency, your questions answered. I'll see you on the next one. Go make money. Boom.